Hello there once again. This is me, Albert, from previous video that you have watched, obviously. Um, Today's subject is about religion, as promised to some of the person that has commented on a previous video. And I would like to start with the following about what I think about religion. And I think that religion is like a startup tool. I think that religion is not something that you should keep on going for over 2 years, because I think that's slavery right there, man. And the reason why I think it's a startup tool, because at least you need some sort of a guidance to understand a little bit about religion or something about God and who is He. I mean, so yeah, you need religion is needed, because if we didn't have religion, then who would be preaching? But now, do I think that it is something that you have to keep on going every single day because you are afraid that maybe God is not going to save you? No, hell no. Because religion or church doesn't really determine if you're going to save or not. I mean, we all know that. So, first of all, these are some of the issues that I have noticed with religion, which I don't know if all of them shares it, but so far I've been on the Seventh Day Adventist Church. I've been on the Baptism. I've been close to the Jehovah Witnesses, Evangelic, Catholic, and so on. Have not been with Muslims, but I know Muslims people, and they're great people. But so on. With the other ones that I've been, I noticed the following issue. Um, they want to attack you as if they are right and you're wrong. For example, I lasted almost 2 years on the Seventh Adventist Church, and when the pastor, or let's say they were teaching whatever they were teaching, they used to they believe that they're right, and that they used to say, oh, this religion preaches this and this, and that's wrong because here on the Bible, this section, blah, 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 says the opposite. So there's a lot of people that says that the Bible contradict themselves, and I can definitely understand why they say that, because of the same reason. Because of that reason of what the church I was used to do so. They used verses on the Bible to attack their opponent, to attack their competition and make them look as they're right. So first I read the Bible completely. I've almost read it again halfway, but I stopped because I realized that I don't know what is the purpose of religion. I mean, because every tool, the you have a tool and it's up to you to use it what you want it for good or for bad. So religion can be used for a lot of things, a lot of good things, but it can also be used for a lot of bad things. It all depends on the person who is behind the curtain, the one who's handling the religion, the church, or let's say the church to be precise. The reason why I say this is because um, you can make a person believe into good things, or you can make a person believe that you're right and wrong. For example, um, let's say on this such and such verse, one religion will come to you and read you that verse, and he will tell you what he believes, and he will use that verse and connect it with other verses in the Bible. That's, let's say, one religion, religion type A. There comes another religion type B. He's gonna give you the same quote, the same verse that the type A religion gave you, but with a different concept, but with a different belief, using other verses on the Bible to support his idea. Then comes religion type C with the same verse with a total different concept as well. So when you think about it, who's right and who's wrong? Answer to this question is no one is right and nobody is wrong, because you are the one that makes your own reality. You make your own belief. Don't let somebody else contaminate what to believe. I mean, if you're going to let somebody else contaminate your belief, that's on your decision, because it makes sense to you, and that's okay. But bottom line is, I noticed that I don't care how convincing you are. I don't care how well you preach. I'm just not going to believe you because I just don't want to. you know, because I've heard so many things, so many different ideas that by the end of the day, it just makes you think who's right and who's wrong. But you know what's very interesting? That I don't know why people suffocate themselves to look themselves they're right or wrong, when in reality the knowledge that you have is not really going to determine if you're going to be saved or not. I mean, you can know the entire secret of the universe, and if God decides, you're not going to be saved, you're not going to be saved. That's it, period. Your knowledge does not determine if God is going to love you, like super love you. But first of all, He does anyway. But my point is, it's not going to determine, like, it's not going to give you an extra ticket to be on His good side, you know? If you're right or wrong. Because knowledge doesn't save you, but what you do, listen carefully, but what you do with that knowledge is what saves you, and what you do with for somebody else, how you handle yourself as a person. I personally think that's what really determines if you deserve to be called one of His disciples or not, you know. And lately I noticed that since there's like a huge competition about who's right and who is wrong, and I've noticed that, let's say I went to a Christian church, right? This pastor was talking about human psychology. How is it that it affects a child when you scream at them, when you say bad words, that the child grows up having the same attitude just like you treated them when they were, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. So the pastor was like, rule number one, don't ever make your kids compete with each other. Don't be a father with a huge favoritism for one kid and leave the other one aside. You know, treat all your kids equally and stuff like that, you know? Good things. It was a psychologist preacher. And my first thought about that was, wow, I bet you that if this preacher would have preached on a Muslim church, on a Christian church, on a Jehovah church, on a Baptist church, everybody would agree with him, and everybody would say, man, this pastor is blessed by God, blah blah blah, he's amazing. But as soon as he starts talking about what he believes, I bet you that's where the conflict starts. No, as soon as a pastor would talk about what he believes with other religion, they're gonna have a huge conflict about that. So as you can see, is that what really separates these religion is not what they preach, or let me see if I can come up a better way of saying it. I think what separates religion is their selfishness of being right. It's like they just want to compete with each other so much that, I don't know. Like, I noticed that I understand why they're doing it, because on the Bible, Apostle Paul and other disciples used to say, you know, preach the word of God no matter what, do this, do that, blah blah blah. So they want to do that because they want to feel like they're the same as those men and women that are written in the Bible. But the problem with this is the following, though. They just fight so much that they just completely ignored everybody else. I mean, I noticed, let's say, I've had a discussion with a Jehovah girl because she used to say, oh, we do this, we go on people's door on Sunday and knock on them and preach the word of God because it is written on the Bible. Do you see other religion doing the same? No, you don't. And just because they do that, they think, just because they do one of those things, they do more things, just to let you know, but just because they do those things that other religion doesn't do, they think they're the chosen one. And the Seventh Adventist Church, or the Baptist Church, they follow the Saturday because it is the fourth commandment of the Bible. Of the 10th commandment, that says that Saturday you shouldn't work, starting by as soon as the sun goes down on Friday. So pretty much Judaism, Seventh Adventist Church, and Baptism doesn't work on Saturday for that main reason. They don't wear, well, in the Seventh Adventist Church they don't wear earrings, they don't wear necklace because supposedly they think it is from the devil for particular reasons. I know why, but I'm not going to discuss that. And etc. etc. And just because they don't drink alcohol, also, but so on. Just because they do certain things that on the Bible says do them so that you can be favorable to God, they think they are the chosen one. So then you've got Jehovah's Witnesses, Seventh Adventist Church, and Baptism battling with each other, like, no, I'm the best one, no, I'm the best one, and so on every single religion. That's why I just don't dive into it anymore. I just believe what I want to believe anyway. Now, what should be done? I mean, I'm not attracted to religion for the following reason, because it is systematic, it is the same shit. Sorry for the word, but yes, the same shit every single freaking day. I mean, somebody's going to preach, talk about it, blah blah blah, and the next week it's another subject, they preach, blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, nigga, I don't want to know more stuff. I want actions, not words, you know? If you really want to inspire me, I'm an INFJ, as you all guys know. Um, in order for me, a religion to inspire me, I need to hear that they're doing at least some sort of a charity work. They're collecting money to help some homeless people out there. Um, People have collected some sort of clothes that they're not using, and we're gonna pick a day so that we can help people. I mean, seriously, my job, which is outrageous, my job where I work at, they do that. They choose a day to do charity work to homeless kids and stuff like that. And I'm like, seriously, this is my job and they're doing this. Why can't church do it? So this is where I go to say is that church really isn't the way of living, and it shouldn't be something that you should be continuously going every single time. You know? So yes, bottom line is, I think that's something that church or religion should do. I wonder. I've always thought about if they could all leave their belief aside and start doing what they're supposed to do, like loving your enemies the same way as much as you love your own self or whatever, big things can actually happen. I mean, the Catholic Church is one of the richest. Yes, the Catholic are one of the richest religion in the world. Muslim, I don't know which one is richer, either Muslim or Catholic, but I do know that those two are the biggest religion, and they are the richest religion in the world. Man, it would be so cool if we could see charity work or stuff like that. I mean, I know they do charity work once in a while, but man, it would be so awesome if we could see more of that, you know? And personally, I believe that there's three type of servants that is needed in this world. There's the messenger, which pretty much preaches whatever he needs to preach to send his message to help others. They are the servant, which pretty much does things, does the work, and they are the warriors, who pretty much fights. They may look like they're not Christian, but they're there for a reason. They're warriors of God to help others. Let's say cops, FBI, or whatever. Because this is how amazing is this world that even if you don't believe in God, a lot of people, they just, what I hate, first of all, what I really hate is when this concept that religious people give you saying, are you doing the will of God? Are you doing what he wants you to do? And blah blah blah. I'm like, the first thing that I think, like, nigga, everybody is doing the will of God one way or another. Either it's a disbeliever or not, because there's at least somebody out there that has done something good for someone else. You know, for example, firefighters. They may be believer of God or not, but trust me, they are doing the will of God, because every time there is a fire, the first one that goes out there to save a person's life from the fire are the firemen. You know, let's say, for example, the FBI agents. Let's say if a child is lost, and there needs to be done an extensive investigation, because that's what pretty much one of the cases that the FBI takes over when a child has been kidnapped. Man, I don't care if the FBI agent doesn't need to be a believer of God. He doesn't need to be believing in that concept, am I doing the will of God? Because he's doing a job that's pretty much saving somebody else's life. You know, there's a lot of rich people out there that helps, that even adopts homeless people. You know, and they don't believe in God, but seriously, that's a work of God right there. So for those who keep saying, "Are you doing the will of God?" Me personally, come on, man, don't say that. Everybody is doing something out there. Everybody is playing their part because, first of all, we are born for a fucking reason. We're not just born just because we are born. Everybody is here to play a role. I mean, sometimes it's not as big as somebody else's role, but you might be there because maybe your best friend needs you. Man, that's a role right there that you got, that you have. And if you would have not existed, that friend that needs you constantly would be desolated, would be desperate. Who knows what will be of him if you were not there? You know, you were born, it sounds silly, you know, let's say, yeah, you were born to be very supportive to all the people that has been looking up to you. As much as you look at it, your role, you might think of it as very slim, but trust me, it is a very important role, and you're doing a good job for helping others. So bottom line is, all of us are born for a reason. Religion is just a tool to help you at least know the basic about God. But from there on, man, if as long as it's been a year, my best suggestion, as I think, would be just get out of there, and whatever questions you may have, try to answer it by reading the Bible on your own. Look all over the internet, because let me tell you something. A lot of people say the internet is not a reliable source, but curious part about the internet is that it is the same as going to any other church, because on the internet you're just going to find somebody else's opinion of what they think of the verse or the question that you don't understand, which is pretty much is going to a church and talking to a bunch of people that has different opinion than what you have, you know. So bottom line, I keep saying bottom line, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that maybe some of you have liked some of the things I've said, or maybe you relate to some of the things I've said. And there's more to talk about. I do have my own belief, my own totally different belief than what they preach every day. I lucid dream almost every day, which I constantly get revelations about things that's gonna happen in the future, which later on it does happen. It's creepy but cool. So if you would like to know about that, trust me, wouldn't be an issue for me to talk about. And hopefully maybe some of you would might have had similar dreams, so we can talk about that, or similar belief. I can also talk about that. So to end this video, I'm gonna say the following. There's one question that I have, which pretty much builds up every little thing of my personal belief, and that is, why were we created in a world that Satan was already in here, or the other way around? Why were we created and Satan was thrown in here in earth? Because that's where pretty much on the book of Revelation talks about that the angels of God the angels of Satan rebelled against God, and at the end of the day they were thrown to earth. So my question is, why would he do that? You know, why would he do that? So if you would like to know more about it, that's what my belief, what I've found out, not found out, but what I believe regards to that, pretty much builds the whole bubble of what I think. So if you would like to know more about it, let me know, leave your comment, and I'll be right back with you all. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.